A very good evening, viewer. You're most welcome to the NILE CAST weekly news roundup only on West Nile Television, where we give you the highlights of the news bulletins of the week every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name is Akumuringa Christine. Let's dive straight into the stories that made headlines throughout the week. There was mixed reactions among the learners following the release of the 2023 Uganda Certificate of Education examination results. While releasing the results, the Uganda National Examination Board confirmed that the last of the old curriculum who sat for the exams last year performed slightly better than those in 2022. In Arua City, there was jubilations as some schools received their results, as St. Joseph College Ombachi and Mvara Secondary School registered some of the improvements. Take a look.
I'm called Angundaru Emma. I am the Deputy Head Teacher in charge of Academics St. Joseph's College Ombachi. Our best student in UCE 2023 got aggregate 10, and he is called Kenny Joel. And we have two other students who have aggregate 11, then one student aggregate 13 and one student aggregate 14. In total, we have 70 students in Division 1 out of 97, then 25 in Division 2. We have one student in Division 3 and one in Division 4. As a school, we are excited about the results because we have moved from 44 in Division 1 in 2022 to 70 in Division 1. That is about 72% pass rate. We are grateful to God for this result, and we pray we can work harder to make it better.
Well, we have just received the result, though it delayed because there were two candidates who sat under protest. We were not aware until this morning when we tried to open our portal. That's when they blocked our portal. Then we had to clear, and then they later released the result. So as Mvara, we got 30 students in the first grade, and then 60 in second grade. Then we had 64 in the third grade. Though from this result which we have just received, we have realized that there has been an improvement compared to 2022, because 2022 we had only 18, but this time the number went to 30. And then also our best aggregate was 13. This was a girl. Compared to the previous year, our best was 19, but this time our best is 13. And we also had more girls this time in first grade than more girls compared to the previous years. So generally there's been an improvement in the performance, and then with the more students passing science subjects compared to the previous years where their performance in science will not be very outstanding, but this time we saw men getting distinctions in sciences and mathematics.
Gift, a student from Senior 4 class. Generally, I'm just going to talk about the results of today. I think these results have generally made us very happy. Last year, we did not do all that well, although we performed, but I think we deleted the number. That one they discouraged us a lot. But I feel with the results of this year or last year, I think these results will encourage us and make us work harder. Like we thought, we did not believe it actually, because the guys, their mind for now was not sure that they're going to make that number, because the guys also looked to me a bit lazy. Maybe they had their own times for studies, but by performing in such a way, I think they've given us a lot of courage. So I think because of their hard work, it has encouraged us a lot, and all of us here as the senior we are planning to work harder, maybe to perform better than what we have done. Since ours is a new curriculum, it is a new thing, we want to make a very good, we want to perform to a very high level, such that our followers also follow what we have done.
Check it out.
And more in our stories this evening. More schools in the Greater Nebi region went into jubilation after the 2023 UCE examination results were released on the 15th of February. Take a look.
In some of the schools, the results were much better compared to the 2022 UCE results. At St. Daniel Komboni Umier, out of the 51 candidates that sat for the 2023 UCE examinations, 29 were in first grade and 22 in Division 2. Angal Senior Secondary School had 28 in Division 1, 58 in Division 2. Panyango Senior Secondary School had 15 in Division 1, 29 in Division 2. At St. Aloysius College Nyapea had 3 in Division 1, 17 in Division 2. Innocent Anwar, the head teacher at Secondary School, attributed the good results to team spirit after they went to the drawing board.
We advised very many strategies to see that we achieve this feast of the first grade we got, the second grade we are secured, and of course no failure totally this year. The teachers were brought on board and they worked tirelessly. I have to say thank you to them. They gave me the support, they gave me their commitment, and all in all, it was a team spirit that enabled us to raise this good result of this year. I still want to maintain that we give a special thank to Almighty God for giving us the wisdom and the guidance, plus the courage to face this year, last year head on, given the challenge that we had in 2022. I would like to say thank you so much to the parents, thank you so much to the students, thank you so much to OBs and OGs also, who gave in their support in terms of, encouraging us, even criticizing us, because even positive criticism can also lead to positive results.
Joseph Chope, the deputy head teacher of Panyango Senior Secondary School, also attributed a good performance to discipline, teamwork, and above all, the government for sending them good teachers.
Most of the students passed, but many people normally attribute success to first grade. We got 15 first grade, and if you are to look at the result from the past 2 years, the indication is that we are progressing. Every year there is progress and the graph has not fallen. It is rising and we expect to get more in the future.
Meanwhile, Agnes Okwonga, a parent in Nebi district, congratulated all schools which performed well in the last year's Uganda National Examination Board. Okwonga, who is a former student of Angal Senior Secondary School, in 1998 revealed that for over 54 years, the school did not get such a big number of candidates in first grade.
The spell of time, performance has been up and down, and last year it was almost the worst. We had only one first grade. Yeah, it was a challenge. Many would say that was after COVID math, but whether there's something bad or not, I'm thankful that the headmaster, Mr. Maraj, had to restructure everything, and wow, we have a very splendid result right now.
UNEB Executive Secretary Dan Okrash Udongo, who is the Chief Executive and the Accounting Officer of the board, said English subjects improved compared to 2023 and also the same with mathematics. Udongo said that the failure rate dropped compared to 2022 resulted through performance in science subjects continuing to be a cause of concern.
Performance in the 2023 examination is significantly better than that of 2022. The failure rate has also dropped by 0.5%. Honorable Minister, this means that 329,939 or 95.9% of the learners who presented themselves for the 2023 examination can progress to the post-UCE level, compared to 0.7% in the previous examination. There is a significant improvement in English language, religious education, mathematics, and biology. However, noticeable drops were recorded in history, agriculture, and physics.
In related news, Uganda National Examination Board UNEB has confirmed that 2023 UCE was the last to be administered under the old curriculum, meaning that from 2024 October or November, the UCE will be the new lower secondary curriculum, which is competence-based. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Moving on with our stories this evening, the secondary school head teachers of Madisab region have been urged to lay grounds for the learners who wish to sit for the Uganda Certificate of Education examination for the last time in the Uganda National Examination Board, as the Uganda National Examination Board plans to phase out the old curriculum. This urge was made by Mr. Mali Michael, the Moyo District Education Officer, during the closure of the two-day training workshop for the secondary school head teachers in Moyo Secondary School. Okumu Dominic reports.
The training workshop brought over 50 head teachers from 5 districts, which forms the Madisab region, with districts like Koboko, Yumbe, Obongi, Moyo and Ajumani to be trained on the new curriculum for the lower secondary schools. Mr. Malimaiko, the District Education Officer Moyo, urged the head teachers to prepare grounds for those learners who would like to sit for Uganda Certificate of Examination this year to do so before the old curriculum is being phased off completely, saying the head teachers play a pivotal role in preparing and organizing the learners within the shortest time possible.
Member also comes around to see you off. In the same way, we have had the old curriculum, which is now winding up. So we need to give it a good send-off, the way we give send-off for our dear relatives and friends. Your neighbors organized the last exams under the old curriculum around June, July. There are so many people who did not have the opportunity to sit for O-level exams. There are those who did not pass well, who may need to repeat. There are those who are aspiring for our LC position in the villages. They need a UCE certificate. Then there are those who sat but did not do well. They want to give it a second trial. Our duty as head teachers is to make sure these 3 categories who are deserving do the final exams under the old curriculum. And it is a very short period of time. Can you imagine? Registration is supposed to start after 19th of this month, after the DOs and area supervisors have done identification of the halls and the sitting centers.
Mr. Mwesi J. Francis, the national trainer with Ministry of Education and Sports under the SESEMAT program, said now the head teachers are well equipped with the much needed knowledge which can be used for monitoring the performance of the science teachers in their schools, and therefore implore the head teachers to consider organizing internal workshops in their schools so that the science teachers can as well pass the knowledge they have acquired to the rest of the teachers in these schools.
Our expectation now is that we shall move back to our stations and give supportive supervision to our teachers. You are aware that science teachers have undergone the SESEMA training. And therefore, we would like to see you organize internal workshops for the whole staff. And these science teachers who have undergone training should lead the training for the rest of the teachers.
Mr. Eranya Moses Vuni, the head teacher Lefori Seed Secondary School, who doubles as the new chairperson SESEMAT Madisab region, said a lot has been said about the achievements of SESEMAT in the region, but implore the head teachers to support the program so as to see positive changes.
A lot has been achieved since 2007. Why we are saying SESEMAT has no impact, has no impact, has no impact. If you have ever done research, impact is a huge thing to achieve. You cannot achieve it in one day. But from our follow-ups, we have seen changes in the method of teaching and learner-centeredness. The continuation of this is based at school level. How do we observe? Who does the observation? Some of you are new. The teachers were taken through in this same hall about what to observe, how to observe, who should do the observation. Our assessment activity, regional based, is lesson observation school based. I'm saying this because I've been in the system. And therefore, the director of studies, deputy head teacher, heads of departments can do lesson observation. Now it has changed its name to support supervision. We go there to support.
Sister Abio Rebecca, the head teacher, St. Mary Assunta Girls Secondary School at Jumani, said in the past, remittance of funds for running SESEMAT activities have been through cohesion, and urged the members to freely submit the funds so as to support the smooth running of the new curriculum in the region.
You were able to support the SESEMAT activities in our region by ably submitting or remitting the money that is due. Yesterday we saw that it has been through coercion, but this time, since we spoke about it very well yesterday, from now onwards, we shall not be coerced. Because for this activity, now the new curriculum to continue very effectively, because we need to benchmark as a region, and we need this money for our benchmark. So please let us really remit these monies so that we are able to do our planned activities very well.
The Ministry of Education and Sports has released the new curriculum, which is competence-based, where learners will be assessed based on their individual abilities, with Uganda National Examination Board UNEB assessment standing at 80%, while schools assessment stands at 20%. Under the new curriculum, the learners will not be awarded certificate at Senior 4 as it used to be. It's upon this background that the Ministry of Education and Sports is educating the head teachers on the new curriculum so as to prepare them about the new curriculum. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumo for West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening, more in the jubilation in the recently released 2023 UCE examination results. Edmond Mungutimu, a 17-year-old resident of Kituna Parish, Akoro Sub-County, Nebi District, has emerged one of the best students in the Greater Nebi Belt with 10 aggregates from Angal Senior Secondary School. Alfred Jawok has the story.
When our reporter visited Edison Mungutimu to his family to find out how he managed to perform well, he took it as a challenge to continue with his further studies due to financial constraints, as his father cannot afford to take him to a better school like other parents do. A proverbial pitching match to see if his nearest opponent's version of growing up poor matches his definition of actually growing to a responsible person to become like others. Mungutimu narrated that he rarely had food in their house, but his results proved that success comes from grass to grace, and even grass-touched house using a lamp to read his books.
I have completed my secondary education in Angal Secondary School as my O-level. For me here, I'm from a village called Angawang village. I am in a very poor background, and as for now I have got first grade with aggregate 10. Now I'm wishing to go for an A-level education, but the best school my father can afford is my former school, Angal Secondary School. Since we are in a very tight hardship, my father cannot get something to take me to better school. But I think if with the people's support, I can go to better school. And what has helped me to achieve this one is God's grace, because I'm someone who is spiritually upright with the high potential for better education. And I think if I can be helped I'll go for some better education somewhere else.
He further said he was not allowed to use electricity light to revise his books due to poverty and the location of his village 10 kilometers away from Parombo town. Mongotemo wants to become a medical doctor as he excelled in sciences.
I wish to become a doctor since it was my priorities ever since I was from P1. I wanted to become a doctor, and as per now, with what I scored in sciences, I think I can do it. But becoming a doctor will need more funds to support my education, but it can be easy for some people who will help me. If someone is helping me, I think it will be easy, but my father alone, I don't think that one may happen.
However, Norbert Muber, a primary teacher and a father to Edison Mongotemo, attributed the success of his son to prayers and parental love offered to his son amidst financial challenges. Muber now seeks help from the government and well-wishers to support the education of his child.
To take him back to his former school and LSS, because that is where I can only afford. Because I have also other responsibilities, I have other children where I have to support them and I take them to school. The only option is to take him back to an LSS where I can afford. First thing in our priority was God. We really put God first, and then other things we did later, like getting some school fees from the little we are getting. As for now, I'm also a primary school teacher, having a lot of responsibility, and you know the little the teachers get these days. So we have been sparing what we get, and then we are affording to pay him up to senior 4.
On many occasions, parents of successful candidates, both in O and A level, have been lobbying for support, but less attention has been given to them by both government and well-wishers. Angowang village, Akuro sub-county in Nebi district, whereby have been trailing to get the best candidate who got aggregate 10 in the last year's Uganda National Certificate of Education comes from this village, as you can see. The parents are appealing to all well-wishers, non-organizations to come and support his child so that he continues with his education. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening. Private schools outshine government schools in Moyo district in the just released 2023 Uganda Certificate of Education results released by Uganda National Examination Board, seeing the best schools St. Andrew's College Moyo, a private school getting 62 first grades. Okumu Dominic reports.
After the release of the results, some of the schools that performed well in the examination took to the streets to celebrate their victory. However, the schools in Moyo district which took part in the celebration were private schools leaving behind the government schools. Mr. Dasman Taban, the deputy head teacher, St. Andrew's College Moyo, a private school, said the school registered 129 students and 62 got first grade, 61 in second grade, and 6 in third grade, saying this was as a result of commitment, dedication and hard work among the students, the staff and all the district stakeholders who had put much effort in improving performance in the region.
We had 129 students in the candidate class. They did well, extremely. We have 62 in first division, 61 in the second division, and 6 in the third division. This result has been as a result of commitment and hard work and dedication from our candidates, our students generally, for providing that conducive environment for the candidates, our parents and other stakeholders in the district have been behind us for us to uplift the performance in this region and nurture the citizens of tomorrow that will serve this country.
Mr. Iranya Moses Vuni, the head teacher at Lefori Seed Secondary School, said they registered 53 students, of which no student passed in first grade, 7 passed in 2nd grade, 21 in 3rd grade, 24 in 4th grade, and 1 in grade 9. He adds that, though they didn't get any student in 1st grade, he feels the students performed better compared to the previous year because his intention is to reduce on the lower grades, though the school still grapples with inadequate number of teachers, among other problems.
At my center, I registered a total of 53 candidates. Out of these 53, I didn't get 1st grade. We had 7 2nd grade, 21 3rd, 24 4th grade, and 1 failure, division 9, totaling to 53. To me, this result is good compared to what we got last year for 2022. We had 1st grade, yes, but the number of failures were 9. This time we have managed to reduce to 1. And of the 7 for 2nd grade, 4 are girls. This is very beautiful. I thank their parents, I thank my teachers, I thank all the staff and the political leadership in the environment here in the area here for supporting education.
Aloronzi Francis, a student of St. Andrew's College who got aggregate 25, attributed this to group discussion and constant seminars in the school, which prepared him for the examinations.
Generally, we were included in discussion groups. The teachers were also concentrating on us. They were giving us past papers. They were interviewing us, seminars, and actually seminar helped us a lot to really perform the way the school is right now. And they included us in discussion groups where each student will at least take a subject to present.
Peter Jennifer, also a student of St. Andrew's College who got aggregate 38, said she is very excited to be part of the great achievement the school has made and now intends to join advanced level and later study law.
I'm very excited today that the results were released. I never expected that our school could make a great thing, but we really did it. We really made great thing today. This is a very big record that we've ever had about in St. Andrew's College. And as for me, I got 38 aggregates, but I never expected it. I expected myself to do a greater thing than that, but I was a day scholar. But besides, I still got a great thing that I'm very, very happy about. I thank my teachers a lot for the effort they have put towards me.
Uganda National Examination Board UNEB released the 2023 results on Thursday, 15th February 2024, with the highest number of learners passing to move to the next stage of their education career. But in Moyo district, private schools performed better than the government schools, with schools like St. Andrew's College Moyo topping the district with 62 first grades, followed by St. Thomas Aquinas College RAP with 21 first grades, and Moyo Star High Secondary School having 11 first grades. However, some of the non-traditional schools under government didn't get many students in first grade, with Moyo SES having 4 first grades and Metro SES getting 1 student in first grade, something which needs concerted effort so as to change the performance of the learners in the region. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumu for West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening. Women doing business drawn from across the entire West Nile region were taken through a one-day training at Moon University by a team from the Ministry of Gender and Labour and Social Development in order to prepare them for Grow Funds. The Grow Fund is a form of grant which is targeting women in business who will borrow funds to support them in their boosting their businesses. Take a look.
Women entrepreneurs in West Nile sub-region preparing to receive support under generating growth opportunities and productivity, abbreviated as the Grow Project, with the aim of boosting their businesses. On the 14th of February 2024, we are taken through a one-day training about the project at Moon University. The Grow Project is a 5-year Government of Uganda program financed by International Development Agency under a grant arrangement of $217 million aiming to support female entrepreneurs doing businesses to grow their businesses in targeted locations, among which include the refugee and hosting districts. Kayongo Godfrey, a social development specialist under the GROW project with Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, says that the project aims at empowering women entrepreneurs in selected areas, including refugees and host districts.
And the project government objective is to increase access to entrepreneurial services that enable female entrepreneurs to grow their enterprises in targeted locations, including the host and refugee districts. This project is looking at all women, but then we have now the refugees, and they have their special component on the project.
Kayongo, however, adds that the funds will go into supporting women who are doing business that are fully or partly owned by the women.
The target beneficiaries are over 60,000 micro and small female-owned enterprises. Micro and small female-owned enterprises. So whether if it's a group, it has to be at least 51% owned by women. There could be men, but it has to be at least 51% owned by the women.
Some of the women entrepreneurs who attended the training raised a number of challenges that could affect them in accessing the funds, just like the rest of the government poverty eradication programs. For instance, the parish development model, Demioga, among others, as they ask for government to make the funds accessible.
Thank you. My name is Topista Vitoyo from Terego district, that is Imvepi refugee camp. Now, I was happy when I received a call from Joan telling me that, please Topi, you've been invited to attend a meeting in Moi University for women entrepreneurs. I felt so happy.
We realize now government is coming up with all these good projects. Very exciting. For me, I'm an agriculturalist with master's degree in agriculture. I know what to do. But I went to the bank. You find the bank tells you give this, give that, this. It is almost 2 months down the road. I've never even gotten the money. The process is so long that we get frustrated, and as a woman, you just give up.
If this project is going to require our women to go certain series of questions which they will not be able to attempt on time, and they will keep missing the opportunities, my first request is please let us work on the procedures that these women are going to use.
Honorable Grace Kuching Freedom, the State Minister for Northern Uganda, who was also the chief guest at the training on invitation by Minister of Labour, Gender and Social Development, the entity implementing the project, cautioned the masses against politicizing the project.
If you are in FDC as you were, if you are NRM as you were, if you are DP as you were, if you are a Catholic, a Protestant, a Muslim as you were, get that money and use it, because poverty knows no religion, poverty knows no party. And the government doesn't segregate, by the way. Otherwise, government will not be coming to some areas who did not vote or who did not vote well. But government does its things uniformly, humanly, to everybody. So even you who is here, don't go back and begin confusing people. Just work hard to get the money, use it in the right investment, and we get the result.
The 5 years GROW project will be implemented by Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, and other entities such as Office of the Prime Minister, Ministry of Tourism, Trade and Industry, among other partners. Farish Majid, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening. Nebi Anglican Diocese on Sunday the 11th of February 2024 received 10 new deacons from the different churches under the diocese who will help in coordinating pastoral works of the bishop. Take a look.
While installing the canons, the Bishop of Madi and West Nile Diocese, Right Reverend Collins Charles Undercombe, urged the new canons to build strong relationship with the Christians so that their call to serve God is manifested in doing the good work. The Bishop further appealed to the newly ordained canons to live an exemplary life to impress other Christians by their actions.
Be an example in all things that you do. The academic qualification you have does not choose to be a leader. Who chooses leaders? The inner heart, mayor and church organs to select leaders on his behalf. And these archdeacons have been chosen by God. It makes you to be an example in everything that you do. Verse 16, where I'll capitalize that you did not choose me.
In the meantime, the Bishop of Nebi Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Pons Ozela Winjo, applauded the canons for accepting to serve God and appealed to them to create peace and unity among believers. Pons added that it is under the mandate of provincial laws to appoint canons in the dioceses.
From this time forth, evermore, this 11th day of February in the year of our Lord 2024, I do humbly certify to all whom may concern that you have been duly inducted and installed as canon of the Church of Uganda Nebi Diocese, conformably within this mandate by undersigned, I, Right Reverend Pons. I give you.
However, Jessica Ongerto, one of the newly ordained canons, pledged to live a life of a canon and appeal for cooperation among the Christians. Ongerto is optimistic that the 10 canons will serve God in their capacities.
Of course, as a canon, we are supposed to be the eye of the church. We are supposed to be advising the bishop. Of course, that comes with the responsibility that you are able to be in the community to understand them, but also you must be a person that the community can rely on, like the Bishop of Omadi and West Nile. We are supposed to be examples.
The canons ordained include Canon Alfred Ugenmongo, Canon Christopher Nyuti, Canon Alex Koi, Canon Hofni Topasho, among others. Among the dignitaries who attended the function include Chairperson Local Council 5 Nebi District, Orombi Emmanuel, Vincent Okaba, the Executive Director of Global Oils Uganda Limited, Dr. George Gedaga, Executive Director Global Village Resort Pakwach, Martin Orochi, former Resident City Commissioner Arua City, Mothers Union, among other Christians. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories this evening. Following the recent killings of citizens in Madiokolo District and Koboko District, Uganda Revenue Authority has responded to the constant demands by the leaders of the West Nile region on why their people continue to be killed by the errant UPDF officers attached to the tax body during enforcement operations. During the engagement meeting organized by the URA tax body in Arua City, the stakeholders raised a number of challenges causing the fair treatment relationship between the taxpayers and the body. Take a look.
Following the recent killings of the citizens in Madi, Okolo and Koboko district, Uganda Revenue Authority has responded to the constant demands by the leaders of Western region on why their people continued to be killed by the errant UPDF officer attached to Uganda Revenue Authority during enforcement. During the meeting organized by the tax body in Arua City yesterday, the stakeholders raised a number of challenges causing the far-fetched relationship between the taxpayers and the body. John Amusinguzi, the Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority, who also condemns the recent atrocities by the officers, asked for support from various stakeholders to work together in ending what has been causing conflicts between the citizens and the tax enforcement team.
We need the support of the local members, the local leaders on ground, we need the support of the area members of parliament, we need the support of the security organs, the RDCs. Let's speak one voice, condemning these three acts which we have agreed on as unacceptable. Condemning smuggling, condemning violence, condemning innocent shedding of blood, and emphasizing the importance of tax.
Musunguzi also says to avoid similar occurrences of the regrettable incidences in future, the tax body has already developed new strategies.
We are going to have intelligence-led operations. We are going to try and minimize pursuing small people and try and intercept these things from as far as we can. The borders are porous. We know the challenge is there. But once we use intelligence, we coordinate this properly with the army, with intelligence, with URA teams. I think we'll be able to do a great job led by intelligence. So that is one of the areas we've agreed to help us.
Henry Musa Sisi, the State Minister for Finance, Economic Planning and Monitoring in charge of general duties, expressed sympathies to the families who lost their loved ones in the hands of the errant Uganda People's Defence Force personnel attached to Uganda Revenue Authority pursuing tax defaulters. Musa Sisi went ahead to call for cooperation among the various stakeholders in fighting smuggling, which has devastating impacts on the economy.
I want to also express our sincere sympathies for the people who died in this process and those who have died before. Smuggling and anti-money laundering are the cancers of any economy. Anything that illegally comes in, whether a good, whether money or anything, can kill the economy. Therefore, we must work together and fight smuggling.
Uganda Revenue Authority, as a strategy of giving back to the public, is issuing out motorcycle number plates at half price to the people of Western region for the next 6 months, among other strategies. Peace Ushaki, Farish Majid, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening. Parents in Moyo District have been asked to take responsibility and ensure parental care of their children so as to nurture them into better citizens. This urge was made by Mr. Gore Goffin, the Resident District Commissioner, Moyo District, during the awarding of pupils who got first grade in the 2023 primary living examination results at Moyo People's Hall. Take a look.
The awarding ceremony brought together all the 45 pupils who got grade 1 in last year's primary living examination in the district, together with their parents and different education stakeholders who joined to congratulate them upon their success. Mr. Gore Goffin, the Resident District Commissioner Moyo, urged the parents to take up their responsibility and ensure parental care to their children instead of leaving them to the government, adding that this tendency of parents complaining that their children have become disrespectful and uncontrollable is not true, saying they are just kids, though they tend to become unruly at some stage, but that doesn't mean they are uncontrollable. He therefore urged the parents to nurture their children so as to become better citizens in future.
So, parents, take responsibility. Don't leave your children to government. At least you try your best. When they grow up, they don't follow you, at least you have done your part. But you cannot fail to take care of your children. They cannot listen to you. How? They will listen to you. They are very young, develop them. So this responsibility is very, very important. It is parental responsibility. The Bible says, train up a child. When the child grows up, the child will never depart from that way. What way are you showing your children? So this excuse of these days the children have defeated us, yours have defeated you, mine have not defeated me. Don't put all of us in your soup. I refuse. Me, I refuse. Even if they make mistakes, it doesn't mean they don't make mistakes. They always make mistakes. When they're in adolescence, they are problematic. That is true. Dealing with it, it is a stage. They will pass. So don't give up.
Honorable Aleruto Maza, the Member of Parliament for West Moyo County, said the reason why all the different stakeholders gathered is to award the best performed pupils in last year's primary living examinations so as to appreciate them and motivate the current set of pupils in primary 7 and 6 to work hard so as to improve on their performance.
Today we have gathered here to give awards to our excelling pupils Why do so? What's the reason? It is to give impetus. It is to give the desire, the zeal. It is to motivate and to encourage them to continue with their education. And also, it is to encourage those who are now in P6 and P7 to work harder and double their efforts so that they can be able to get mattresses next time. Nelson Mandela one time said that, and I quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world." Education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world, and that is why he used education for liberating South Africa.
Senior Superintendent of Police Kaija Stephen, the regional police commander for Northwest Nile region, said whenever he looks at the kids, they always remind him of his childhood life with no hope, but he is grateful that he has made it in life, though not enough yet. He therefore urged the pupils not to get too excited with the little they have achieved, but rather strive for more.
It's very simple. We may not do much with the older youth, but we have everything to do with young children. And the other reason is, I always find you walking on foot going to school. I always find children selling pancakes and fene and the rest of the merchandise, not only here in the villages or in the rural districts, but also in urban centers. And it reminds me that I did the same thing. And whenever I see children, I see you very hopeless. You don't, not hopeless is not an abuse. You don't have hope. You see us in those big cars, and you can't imagine that you can still make it and drive the big cars.
Mr. Edema Wilson, the district sports officer who doubles as the inspector of schools, who represented the district education officer, said most parents tend to send their children to school with empty stomach, and this in most cases leads to the learners not concentrating in class. He therefore implored the parents to support their schools so as to help improve on the performance of their children.
It is the role of parents to make sure the school operates as expected. We don't want grade U's, grade top grades. We don't need these results. We want children to pass well. But it is the parent who can support the head teacher and the teachers in that school.
Mrs. Chandia Benedict Kodili, an opinion leader and a former aspirant for Moyo Women Member of Parliament seat, urged the pupils to put more effort in their studies, saying that's the only way they can pay back their parents for supporting their education through good performance.
You can never do what? Repay your parents. The only payment you can give your parents is when you excel. The best reward you can give your parents is to succeed. When a parent sees a successful child, they will be happy. So I want to encourage you to please continue working hard and put God first in everything that you do, and respect your elders, respect your teachers, listen to your teachers. When you do all the right things, you're going to excel.
In Moyo district, a total of 1,579 pupils sat for last year's primary leaving examination, and out of which 791 pupils were girls and 788 were boys. In the result released a fortnight ago by Uganda National Examination Board UNEB, 45 pupils passed in first grade, 556 passed in second grade, 545 passed in third grade, and 223 passed in fourth grade, and 155 were in Division U. The district pass rate stands at 89.9% and leaving 10.1% failure rate, something which needs concerted effort from all the stakeholders in the district so as to improve the performance of the learners in the district. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumu for West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And that, viewer, marks the end of the Nile Cast only on West Nile Television. Thank you always, viewers, for taking the time to be with us from the beginning of the Nile Cast to the end of the Nile Cast only on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs.